All right. So, guys, today we have the team from Vagabond on to join and talk about their upcoming project. So, Vagabond is actually looking to come to market as an innovative blockchain as a service solution. So, I know from kind of my experience in the market, these service-based projects, transportation as a service, um, essentially food delivery and stuff as a service, like these are growing trends. And I know from moving from the stock market into crypto myself, these are kind of listed as some of the biggest opportunities and biggest growth markets moving into 2022, 2023, 2024. So the fact that these guys are utilizing this as a service approach in crypto, I think the potential for this project is absolutely massive, guys. I'm going to let them jump into the details and their background themselves, because I think once you hear them talk about their project and understand the expertise that they're coming to the table with, you guys will really start to be able to get behind and understand the vision they're working towards. Essentially, they're looking to assist businesses and organizations around the world with their crypto growth if they don't have essentially the ability, the means to do it in-house, whether it's budget, whether it's a headcount or whatnot. And obviously, it's a growing sector. These guys have the background to do it, and they'll get into that a little bit more later on. But yeah, I am just super excited to have you guys here. I really jumped in deep to this project because it is a lot to kind of undertake and understand. So yeah, I'll pass it off to you guys, but just wanted to say super excited to have you guys here. And there really hasn't been a project I've seen like this from the ones I've reviewed. So I'm going to put myself on mute and the floor is yours.
Thomas, do you want to start?
Yeah, quickly, I start. Great having me on this AMA. Perfect opportunity. A little bit about myself. So I am a managing partner of Vagabond and also of the TAXF, which is actually the founding company of Vagabond. And I'm a partner of PwC still and a partner of Silverberg Capital. Over my career, actually, which is based on 30 years profession in the meantime, 8 years in the consulting service, professional consulting service for PwC, as said, and for Roland Berger, and 22 years in executive roles and leader role. So I was the CFO of the North American Chrysler Group. I was CFO in a couple of companies of the Daimler universe. I have been in the renewable energy sector as a managing director in the man-made cellulosic fiber industry and paper industry, in embedded computing, and last but not least with Leica Camera AG. So I myself would say I'm a passionate executive and know perfectly about the corporates, but also a proficient consultant and coach, and a serial entrepreneur myself and an investor, because I'm holding a couple of companies as well and help them to build their companies. So this is in a nutshell me as a person, and my role is, as said, as managing partner driving forward the Vagabond journey.
Well, it's great to meet you, Thomas.
Go on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, I was just saying, great to meet you officially. That's all.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Navid Kianilarijani. I'm also the managing partner of Vagabond and TAXF. So Thomas and I founded the company together after my journey ended at PwC in 2020. My background, I founded the Tentacle Studios as a founder, which was the biggest game publisher in Europe. We had massive success in gaming. GTR was the first realistic racing game in the market, which was Planet Cars, which now became, since last year, the new Need for Speed for EA. The company was sold for 1.3 billion. It was all after I left Tentacle Studios, but that was one of the games. We had the very first European MMORPG and some very nice games like Black Buccaneers, Happy Hippo, Jack Keen, etc. So after leaving Tentacle Studios, I started as a creative director in the WPP. WPP is the biggest agency network in the world. Companies like Ogilvy, like Gray, like J.W. Thompson, etc. And moved throughout the world from New York to Japan, and created digital marketing campaigns. And then we switched to consulting in these companies, and then we started to do digital transformation, and I was spearheading that. After this journey, I joined PwC as the Chief Experience Officer, set up 6 locations, the experience centers, which were the innovation hubs, or which are still the innovation hubs of PwC. And we started to implement emerging technologies for clients. Emerging technologies at that time when I started was things like AI, blockchain, etc. So I did that for a couple of years, consulted many companies, some of them Thomas just mentioned. And at that time, I met Thomas over there, and the idea of Vagabond started to grow. And after we left the company, then I let Thomas explain a little bit more about the details. We came together and built that up.
So what we are both... Sorry for interrupting you.
Sorry, man. My fault.
Just wanna... No problem. Great. Let's say we are both passionate in transformation journeys and in developing new businesses, helping company building, and we made our experience over the last, let's say, couple of years, actually, to be honest, in the last 2 centuries. And it was always that whenever there was a new technology or there was a change, it took a hell of a cost, a hell of a people, a lot of technology knowledge, and always our customers said, oh, it's too expensive, it takes too long. And so we said, look, if we really want to change something, we have to make it affordable and accessible for everyone. So this was actually the idea why we said, hey, blockchain has to become a mainstream as technology, and we have to solve real business problems with that, and we have to make it available for everyone. So, and why is this so important? Because if you look to today's economy, how it works and how business works, it's all centralized. Let's say there is a couple of people who has all the wealth, all the assets, all the data, like the big brands, as you know, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Tencent, and they have all the power, and with their power, they're also making the governance and the rules, and they play inside their own game, and all the others cannot participate in this economy anymore because because they do not have the money, or they do not have access to the technology. And actually, we said, look, if to give trust back to the people, trust in value chains, trust in business, trust in economy, we have to change the system. So that means we need a system, a technology, which gives back this trust, which is, and I don't have to explain to you as all the crypto nerds, transparency, traceability, and immutability. Because all the corruption, all the mistrust, all the centralization, no privacy, no security. So this is the way how economy works today. And actually to make their difference and to change and to let everybody participate in a fair economy to get, let's say, a fair proportion of the business again, and to make value chains transparent again, we said, hey, we have to provide the service. And this was the idea, or let's say the higher vision for our journey with Vagabond. And we said, okay, then let's predefine modules and processes on blockchain technology and make them along all the value chain from, let's say, the procurement over the operations until the sales and the financial wallet, make them accessible for those people. So this is a little bit what is behind Vagabond, a platform where blockchain as a service is available and accessible and affordable for every individual and every company to bring back, and this is the aim and the purpose, we have to bring back a decentralized, democratized economy, businesses and business models we can fully trust again.
That's
Perfect.
amazing.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Man, we are interrupting you all the time. Come on, man. Sorry.
I was trying to hold off on that one just to make sure I gave it a couple minutes, but I was just going to say I do want to touch on the transparency issue and the fact that you guys do come from very strong corporate backgrounds and have held the positions that you have in multiple very well-known brands and companies. Should just kind of touch on the fact that you guys have that expertise and know what it takes to run a business and scale and help scale businesses and work with businesses as they scale, right? To meet the growing changes as you guys ramp up. If things continue to progress, as I'm assuming they will once you guys launch, I know you can touch into some of, not specifics, but I know you guys have some partnerships secured and obviously have backing of very reputable organizations. So there's a lot of growth you guys are going to see, and you guys obviously have the expertise in the background to meet those demands as they kind of help through the scalability.
Yeah, look, when we started to think about Vagabond, we needed first of all, getting our expertise exactly channeled in the right place. So therefore, we founded TRXF. TRXF is our consulting arm in our network of companies. I will talk about that in a second. And at the moment where we started that, we of course followed up our consulting journey and consulted the companies, and of course introduced Vagabond as a concept to them, and gathered a lot of feedback from the companies we were talking with, to understand much more from the client side, from the client's eyes, of what is really needed in that. Well, one approach we had from the very first beginning was we didn't want to start the project once an ICO is done, or once we announced it. We started the project a year ago. So by starting that up, we have a couple of offices right now running. Our main headquarters is in Frankfurt. We have our nearshore design and development studio in Ukraine. There are 42 people sitting over there, developers and designers. POs and tech leads, and we have our whole payment services, due to regulations and due to everything what the US citizens and European citizens are facing right now. To avoid all this, so we built up our whole payment services in Dubai. So in total, we've got 49 people. We founded in 2020. The shareholders, the sole shareholders of the company, are Thomas and me, and the network of the companies working together in order to make that happen, Vagabond happen, is Tribus, is 403P design studio in Ukraine together. So just to give you an overview of how we set that up. So we are operating, we have our first clients. The platform, Vagabond, is up and running, right, since April, actually, to do that. That's where we come from. And from the scaling point, look, yeah, we know how to scale up companies. We did that in our careers many times, and we didn't, or we to stop it now, right? So we want now to scale our own company to go forward. Maybe Thomas, before you jump in, I give you a little bit of an overview of details of Vagabond, the system itself. Right, this is very wordy, so you don't need to read that. I'm gonna explain what that means. So when we started to go to our clients in 2017, 18, 19, even some of the clients earlier, and every time when we said, "Hey, listen, the problem you're explaining can be solved with blockchain," you know that. There were always three answers we got. Number one is we don't have the budget. Number two is we don't have the expertise. And number three, which was very, very often, was we cannot integrate it in our legacy IT systems. So when we started that, we said we need to solve these problems first, right? So our platform cannot be a platform where you need a heavy load of developers to integrate it into an IT legacy system. It needs to avoid that a company has to get experts into it, in the mid markets or small enterprises, small businesses. You can't get, these experts in because you don't have the budget for them. So, and we need to avoid the excuse of the budget. So what we said is we're going to build up a system where, as Thomas said, the processes are completely predefined to limit the cost and the time, of implementation of the whole system. So for example, if you want to build up an NFT marketplace or an e-commerce marketplace with us, it takes you under 5 minutes. You don't need any line of code for that. Right? The demo is online, by the way. Everybody who wants to see it, I can share it in a bit.
Yeah, could you also post me the link? Would you be able to send me the link, or Midnight Crypto? Could you just send me the link for that, and I can actually post it in the comments section as well, just for anybody who wants to go in.
Yeah, no problem. I'll sort that out.
Do you have it, Midnight? Otherwise, I'm just going to jump over and send it.
Just do it. It's probably quicker for you, so I'm searching.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. So look, this is one thing over here, and the other thing is, at the moment where we are talking about codeless and affordable, we need to have a small entry price for clients to come in. Because look, when we talk about supply chain management, for example, which the system should cover, I can't ask a farmer, a raw material producer, to invest $200,000-$300,000 in order to get a decentralized app which works with the system of, let's say, McDonald's, right? You can't do that. So that's why it needs to be affordable from that side. So this is what we call, or what we say, reimagining business apps, which are accessible and ingenious, because we want to increase the adoption rate for blockchain, make blockchain available for everyone. I think that is the big claim behind that.
I appreciate that background as well.
Perfect. Thomas?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just ask. I was asking if Thomas wants to add something to it.
The actual system, because I know for people who look at the website, you guys have a very, very unique approach with the breakdown of your tokenomics for how you're going to split up between the VGO and the VGB tokens. So I don't know if it's too early on or if you guys typically get to that later on in the discussion, but I would love to kind of have a little bit more breakdown for the channel and the community on that side of things, because it is very interesting how you've specifically chosen the XRP ledger for the VGB side of the project.
Sure. Look, the tokenomics we have is that, or not the tokenomics. The first thing is the approach we took. Thomas actually just said it. I'm just going to repeat it a little bit more in detail. Every project we saw, meanwhile, in the blockchain space. I'm not talking about crypto. I'm talking in the overall blockchain space. There are mainly blockchain projects solving a technology problem, and not a specific business problem behind that, right? So just a simple example behind that, Ethereum is still trying to solve its own problems, right? They didn't really solve many other problems besides their own. And if you go on with all the networks, chains, and ledgers, you will see mainly they are trying to solve technology problems. So we said we need to solve business problems, and there is not one single network which gonna fulfill all the requirements we have. So, for example, the feature richness of Ethereum/BSC is, uncomparable to most of the other networks out of there, right? The speed of XRPL and the sustainability factor of XRPL, which these are unbeaten in the space right now. The same comes down to data management and data security with Cardano. Right, also not met right now. So you see, every different chain, network, and ledger has its benefits. So we said, okay, look, before we jump in and try to fit everything into the BSC, let's find a way how we can benefit from all the benefits, of the different networks, chains, and ledgers. So second layer, and I have to say a second layer in our terms is an interchain layer. It's not a cross-chain layer we build up. So we don't have a layer 2, we have a second layer, right? So, and the second layer we have interoperates with all the different networks, chains and ledgers, by taking the computing power out of the blockchain into a virtual machine, and let the blockchain just to be the judge of the process itself. So therefore, the tokenomics come together, because we need utility in order to do that for the cross-chain interaction. We need to back up fundings from one chain to the other. So what we did, and Thomas can explain that much better than I do, we took a huge chunk of the tokens as a utility and put it into our asset pool of the company. Thomas, do you want to explain it? Otherwise, I'm going to embarrass myself of saying something wrong.
No, perfectly. Nothing to add, to be honest.
Oh wow, that's the first time.
That was a great
so you learned
explanation.
Over the time.
Could I answer your question with that, by the way?
Oh, that was amazing. Like, I personally just wanted to jump into a little bit more of the details on that type of thing, just because the approach you guys are taking and what you're looking to bring into crypto from an already established organization on the blockchain is revolutionary. And like I've said, we have not as a channel had the opportunity as a community to learn about a project such as yours. So I think in a situation like this, the more detailed, the better, because like what you guys are doing is it's crazy. Like for this to be coming to BSC is absolutely mind blowing, because your expertise and your backgrounds are some of the best I've had an opportunity to speak with on any project across the space. So like, I just have to commend you guys as a team for your expertise and your background, because it's crazy to think of what this project could look like a year or two down the line. I actually can't put it into words. Like, I come from the space that you guys come from a little bit, and just knowing that what you guys have to do to grow and get to the points that you have in your own personal careers, don't expect anything less from this project, to be honest. So it's tough to not be extremely excited and just have like super positive things to say, because I know your space and I know what you guys are building towards, and it's going to be amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the compliment.
Thanks a lot. But really, like you said, it is really that we with Vagabond, we are about to change the way how economy is done and how business is done in the future, away from a centralized to a decentralized and more democratized and transparent business way. Because today it's all this skepticism and all these, even you can call it sometimes corruption, Wirecard scandals, all these scandals. This is all because there is no layer like a blockchain as a judge, and there is no transparency anymore. So the consumer, the investor, the supplier, they are all blind. So you have very complex supply chains in the world, and these supply chains are not controlled anymore and not controllable anymore, because everyone is doing in his own legacy systems what they want. And think about auditors, think about investors, think about customers, think about employees. And this, I guess, is the revolutionary part of that, to give back the transparency in all these company processes, inter-corporate processes, and whole value chains, from the raw material to the end of life, the recycling or the reuse of this product again. And this makes it so powerful. And on this way, what Navid explained, we had to deal with the best features of the best technology available. And each blockchain has its own benefits and own features which can contribute to the overall most pressing business problems of the world. And this is where we are concentrating, because I'm fully coming from business. I have seen 3 decades how intransparent business is done, and 3 decades how helpless people are trying with implementation of technology to get transactions, to get data delivered secure with a high privacy level over all these value chains. And it was a hell of business requirements which I heard, and I couldn't fulfill them because there was even not a technology available. Now we have the good news. We have a lot of these technologies. We have a lot of people like you who are really passionate about further developing these technology problems. And I am passionate with Navid to bring this to business, to make this bridge building, because at the end, we are only good if real world and business problems are solved, not if only technology problems are solved. And the interaction of these technologies then tremendously. Just think if all these IoT robotics is communicating with these transactions on the blockchain, and all of a sudden the operations of a manufacturing side is communicating with the transaction processes side automatically. Just assume how much speed we're getting beside the transparency and how efficient these supply chains will be, and trustable on top, and sustainable, because we can not only track financial transaction data and product transaction data, we can also track all these sustainability data as well. So, and I guess this is a huge endeavor for sure, but this can make the difference.
It definitely does. And I was going to ask you guys, just with regards to, obviously you mentioned you've been live with the actual platform with clients since April. I guess of the 3, hurdles you'd mentioned earlier with regards to payment, expertise, and the technology, I don't want to assume, but I would kind of guess that obviously the difference from technology that is being utilized from one organization or one individual to another is probably your guys' biggest hurdle. Just like those 3 between pay, expertise, and then technology. Obviously, technology will differ from client to client. So just like, how are you guys kind of overcoming that?
Look, it is bound into our business model how we overcome that. The problems we don't have, the clients have, right? So the clients are at the end the ones who are going to pay for it. So what we do is, as I said, the implementation part is very simple, or the setup part of your DApp or your D cloud or your D platform is very, very simple. It takes a couple of minutes. That is a hurdle, or this hurdle of expertise and implementation we take away. The thing is the low cost of having that. So it differs between $29.99 and $49.99, and that's the max you're going to pay, for one of the dApps you build on our platform. So, and the third thing is, in order to overcome the legacy IT infrastructure problem, is we are like every other service or platform, software, blockchain as a service. We have a fully embedded API system behind that. So your implementation into your IT, right, going to be needless. Actually, I mean, we have the interfaces to the big enterprise solutions already built in. So implementing it in Salesforce takes you a click in order to do that. SAP gonna be a couple of minutes to do that. So I don't see that as a hurdle for us. I see it as a hurdle of making our clients understand that they don't have this problems anymore.
Yeah, it was kind of a trick question, because I know the integration all comes from your end, so it doesn't matter what they're doing on their side. If it's 10, 15 years old, you guys will be able to overcome that.
Easily, right?
Yeah, first this, and let me add something. It's really, look, at the end of the day, these legacy problems, what all these corporates have currently, we will replace all these systems by our modules, which are more easy to implement and also cheaper. So, because if we say we want to become the Salesforce, but on blockchain, also is for ERP systems that we want to become the ERP system of the corporate. And then there is a seamless interlink between all these parts of the system. So you have the transaction, the accounting, the wallet system, the financial system, the managerial steering system, the marketing system, and the sales system, all as modules from Vagabond, which are seamlessly, perfectly integrated and speak to each other. Then you can replace your legacy at a certain time.
Let me maybe, absolutely, Thomas. Let me maybe give you a quick rundown of what we mean with all that. I think that helps a lot, because our partner structure is a huge enabler in this. One of our partners are right now here in the call, Midnight and his team. But also what this platform can on the feature side, right, and which we have implemented already. I'm going to give you just a quick rundown on that in a nutshell, so everybody knows what we talk about if we say we're going to replace systems at the end of the day. So look, Vagabond in the version we have right now has a couple of modules set in, which are the editorial module, so everything which is content bound, kind of a content management system. We have the event management system in it. You can buy tickets, you can set events, you can have digital video events behind that. The ticket's going to be sold as NFTs, so they are minted, all of them on the blockchain. We have a project management tool which can be needlessly implemented or integrated into Jira or into all the other big project management tools. We have a full-fledged academy system. The academy system works like things like Udemy and all the others. The only difference is when you're finished, your certificate going to be minted as an NFT and going to get into your wallet. We have a social media component built in. We have a follower system. We have a profile system, so on and so forth. So our system is up and running and ready to use, like every other system you have out there on the interface side. So integrated into that is a wallet app. Our wallet app, and I think Midnight just sent you the link to that. And you can buy, you can sell, you can exchange tokens. Of course, our native tokens. You can stack tokens. Gonna get rewards out of that, rewards points, like every miles and more, or royalty system behind that. You can exchange this to pay your fees for the system. You can buy tokens with the points, you can exchange tokens, etc. So everything what we have built up till today is built on the BEP 721 protocol for the NFTs, or the XRPL XLS20 protocol. All the tokens, the system can create tokens. So if a client wants to have his own tokens, it has a token creator implemented into it, is running on BEP20 or the XRPL. We have a decentralized document management system behind that. As I said, the contract management system, which I will explain in a minute. So all of that, what we have is up and running right now. It has a couple of hurdles on the way, which I'm going to talk about when we go there. So our smart contracts, there are 4 smart contracts in total, which you can choose from, and you can work on that. So it's a market market contract behind that. We have an auction contract, we have a treasury, and we have a token creator contract behind it. All of them completely scalable. You can go from a small e-shop or to a full-fledged e-commerce platform, right? Like for Zalando or for the big ones. All of that work. A big issue in between, and that explains your question as well, why XRPL and is in that. Look, you can't go to a client and say, your gas fees can differ from $16 to $800. We don't know. It depends on when the client is buying. So we need to have meta transaction into it to be gas free, for the client at the end of the day. And of course, we need to manage somehow the gas fees for our clients. So XRPL is a very, very good solution for that, because the gas fees are under a cent, which can be very, very neatly calculated. So everything what I was saying right now is, if you get companies, startups, governments, or institutions, and they all function in the same way, so they need information, education, collaboration, contribution, innovation. All that flows into the Vagabond system, and Vagabond system you can choose tokens to work with. You use our native ones or the ones you build up. You can interact and you can work with that. You can integrate third-party data into our system. So as I said, Salesforce, SAP, Oracle, Google, Jira, whatever you want behind that. Our API layer allows that. So, and then there are 4 different modules in that, which is VNFT. Everything which can be minted will be minted on our system. NFT market. Market we define a little bit different. Market is every transaction you do on the platform is a market for us. So it could be an CO2 emission trading platform, or it could be just a logistic tool, right? From sending one goods to another. Then the V Treasury for everything which comes down to escrowing and treasuries, and of course the V payment, which will be covered for by our wallet. If you choose all that together, you can generate your product within minutes, and then you're up and running. So we had a 3-phase approach. Approach number 1 was completely centralized. That was in 2020 until beginning of 2021. So our virtual machines were completely centralized on Google and Google Cloud and AWS. Our storage was on Google Cloud and Firebase, AWS and Firebase, and the same was with the database. So now we switched over, and we at least have right now our storage and our database decentralized. The virtual machines are running centralized still on Google Cloud and AWS. The next step that's going to happen in late this year, we're going to go full-blown decentralized. So our cloud system going to be decentralized as well. For that, a component comes in, which means we will need at a certain point our own blockchain in order to do that. And there the people from Midnight, John and Hisham, come into play. These guys are building up their own blockchain. I will let them talk about that in a bit. So we partnered up. We are strategic partners in that stuff. So our system is using a layered architecture. So from the distribution and the file storage to a processing layer, and then the second layer I was talking about, which takes care of all the computing power and on the virtual machines. And then the application layer and the communication layer we have is set up on React. So that means if you want to develop your front end and integrate your own Web3 applications on it or integrations into it, you are able to do that on our system. So I will jump over that. So the use cases we are doing right now, we have up and running right now, are 3 at this moment. Number 1 is a sustainability platform, which is Go Reconcile. It's up and running. The domain is goreconcile.app. Everybody can look at that. Is 100% decentralized sustainability platform. We are building right now an investment platform where you can do crowdfunding, where you can also invest into startups. So you could actually use the system to buy shares of a company, and an NFT marketplace builder, which is going to come live in February for everyone to use. The other use cases we will use over the time is a mobility platform. I can't talk in detail about that. That's why I'm just going to jump over it. So it's a mobility platform, a real estate platform for property management. In agriculture, we have something, and then full-blown e-commerce and esports. So the esports part is a metaverse project we are building up. Who listened to my previous career knows what it is or what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just stop there. These use cases are online in our sales deck, so everybody who wants to look into it can go and look into these cases. Yeah.
Terrific. The one piece I wanted to touch on before we kind of maybe broke into some questions as well is more of an exposure standpoint, because obviously this project is very unique and has so many different avenues that you could highlight to people to get interest, or to highlight to clients or potential partners to get them to come on board and potentially partner up with you guys. So I guess what are some of the main areas you're focusing on? I know financial articles and that type of stuff is something that really does speak well and work well with a project like this. But what are some of the, I guess, more crypto centric, to use that word, marketing techniques you're using to grow this into the space?
Look, we started our let's start with Twitter. I think that's the easiest part to do. So we started with Twitter in October, end of October. I think it was 25th. We started to promote this project, and we could gain 45,000. We are right now 45.5, I think, 45,000 followers in a very short time, who are very active and I mean, at least for the time being, very loyal to us in this project, spreading every word, etc. So, but look, this is just a small part we needed in order to build up a community base. We have some partnerships, and Thomas needs to talk about that because he's the architect of that, which are released through press releases in the Wall Street Journal, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, etc. And we will not stop. We are coming from a corporate background, so we do corporate marketing even for crypto to spread the word and make that available. So we have a couple of listings upcoming right now. So we will definitely do promos with the exchanges. The number one is BitTrue. We will be starting the voting on the 18th of January, and there will be in total 3 listings and listing announcements in January. The other 2 I can't talk right now about. That's the point. Then in our network, we have a lot of different exchanges, which we're definitely going to work on. So our partner their DEX is built on OKX. So of course we will talk to them. One of the main shareholders of the partnership we have is Bitmart. So definitely we will talk with them as well. In order to get listed on that. So this is the one part we have over here. We have a very active Telegram group or Telegram channel, with moderators behind that who help all the time, etc. and etc. Right. So these are the things we do on the promotion side for crypto.
Awesome. I appreciate you breaking down. And I know obviously you guys' background is more in like the corporate and real world tangible marketing side of things. So it is good to just kind of touch on how you guys are expanding that into the space. And I know Midnight can get into a little bit more, I think, on that, because he helps a lot on the marketing side with the project.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll touch base. I won't go into detail because I'm pretty sure community is dying to ask a few questions. What we're trying to do here as a partnership, we're trying to build a kind of hybrid environment, blockchain environment, which doesn't exist, and it's it's something that we really want to get done, because all the governments need to use it and need it, and we need to move these guys over into the blockchain at some point in the future through using Vagabond. So we're going to build a blockchain that is going to have a public and a private section. Public means that all the transactions will be available to everyone. Private, you'll have all the government entities, and you'll have Google, and you'll have Amazon, just some of the big corporations that we're talking about. But obviously that service will be a chargeable service in order to keep the blockchain running. And within these will be 2 separate blockchain within the main blockchain. So technically there'll be almost 3 blockchains in one, if you think about the tech side. And there's going to be artificial intelligence as well as robotics to actually maintain data transactions and to see what's going on, to actually stop all these scandals happening. So data manipulation, etc., etc. So that's just a basic overview of the blockchain, because if we go through the layer 1 and the virtual machines and how we're going to get that, is going to get a bit too technical. That's the future. We're trying to have kind of a centralized / decentralized environment, but it is fully decentralized. So I'm not sure if that. And then marketing-wise, we are looking at all avenues and working with contacts, such as to get listed on a few locations, which we can't mention yet. But we've done all the AMAs we can here in Telegram. We're going to move to Discord. We're going to move to different channels within Twitter. I'm communicating to them as well. So marketing we're fully heavy on that. We're trying to educate people throughout that process as well, and how we can change their lives and change their companies at the same time.
Thank you so much, Midnight. That was awesome. So I agree. Let's kind of transition this into the Q&A side, because I think we're going to get some really good questions coming back today from the team, or from the community here. Sometimes feels like a team because they're definitely support us. So why don't we get Vladlin up first, and then we got Drew, Johnny. So Vladlin, how is it going today?
Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Actually, I attended your AMAs previously. I attended your AMA at Midnight Show, but so I had an opportunity to ask all questions I'm interested in there. But still, in the beginning of January, I read that article at the Wall Street Journal about your partnership with NSAV, and that's like a 50% acquisition of Vagabond Solutions by NSAV. And my question is about that partnership. What was the purpose of that partnership, and how will that affect Vagabond in a long-term run?
Yeah, may I answer? Because when I introduced myself, and probably you heard it, I said that I'm also a partner of Silverberg Capital. And as you know, the NSAV, or NSAV, how it's pronounced by some of the people, is a company of SBC as well. And the partnership was not only because I was a partner, because it's really a relationship there. And we mentioned financial services as a topic, but you also mentioned technology solutions to the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and digital asset industry. And NSAV has all these DEXs, the NSAV DEX and Bitmart relation and OK, which definitely makes sense to work together, because we ourselves wanted also to be part of these taxes. And the other is for sure over time, whenever because the aim of NSAV is really to be or become the turnkey provider of solutions in this crypto asset industry. And they are also investing in startups and new ideas. And they actually get our services, our Vagabond platform, to grow up quicker and to give at least also more value to the overall company. Because the more are using the higher the adoption rate in projects of Vagabond is, or of blockchain actually, is, the more we can go to our end game, which is at the end fully transparency over all the value chains, which are more or less existing in different industries. Does this answer somehow your question?
Yeah, that answers my question. Thanks for your answer, Thomas.
Thanks so much for the question, Vladlin. So we got Drew up here next. Drew, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, my question for the team is, do you have a bond mechanism? Do you bond every milestone, or is it a random pattern, or what?
Can you repeat that? Acoustically, I didn't understand.
Yeah, I'm asking if you have a bond mechanism for your token.
A bond mechanism?
Burn. Are we burning tokens? I don't.
No, we are not burning any tokens.
Burn, yeah.
No, we don't burn any tokens. Look, we have 60 million escrowed as in our asset pool. That means we are not allowed to touch them. They're going to be a total of circulating supply of 40 million out there. And I think with this circulating supply, a burning mechanism wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the Q&A. So we have Johnny up next. Johnny, how's it going? Hey, Johnny, are you there? Give Johnny
He's
a second.
still muted. Now he's unmuted.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, first of all, good luck with the launch on Saturday. What I was wanting to ask is, I've bought over 8,000 VGO on the private sale, but the BSC address that I used has been compromised. I connected it to an app and I can no longer use that address. So I was wanting to know how I could go about changing the address at my 8,000 VGO was up to.
Definitely. Look, I don't know if you contacted Declan. If not,
I've had a word with Declan. He just said he's really busy, but he said there was going to be a form.
Yes, that will be live tomorrow. But you can write Declan your Web20 address and the one you want to change, and we're going to change that for you. That's not a problem.
That's excellent. Thanks very much, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're
Good
welcome.
luck.
Thanks for the question, Johnny. And obviously,
Cheers.
it's great to see you here. I sent you a DM just to get your username, if that's cool, so I can add you into the participation draw. So I will move on to the next question here. We got Alexander Wilson. Alex, you are up. How's it going today?
Hello?
How's it going today?
Oh, okay. I want to ask, my question is, a common problem with DeFi project is the smart contract vulnerabilities. Can you lead to loss of funds? What steps was your project taken to resolve this major issue and prevent so much occurrence in the future? Thanks.
Can you repeat that, please?
I think it was related to the smart contract, if I'm not mistaken, but I didn't catch the very end part.
Yeah, the smart contract,
Yes.
I understood the end was, yeah. But what was the end of the question again? Sorry.
Okay, I'm repeat my question. My question is, a common problem with DeFi projects is that smart contract vulnerabilities can lead to loss of funds. What steps has your project taken to resolve this major issue and prevent so much occurrence in the future? Thanks.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Yeah, I got that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, look, the loss of funds, I think you refer to loss of funds on exchanges and to recover funds over there. We can't recover lost funds if they left our wallet, our contract at that point, right? This is simply not possible from our side. But our system works a little bit differently. At the moment where we are interacting in our system itself, it is a closed bound system. So we will never lose any tokens, at least the 60 million which are escrowed in our system, right? It's just simply not possible to do that. From the other side, if you transact any tokens from one wallet to the other wallet, and the wallet is compromised in any form or anyhow, blockchain does not allow us to do anything about it. Right, so this is a common problem out there that has to be solved from the networks, chains, and ledgers, and cannot be controlled by us. Otherwise, we would need to send you tokens, which would not, or we would need to rewrite the smart contracts and have the ability to freeze your assets, which is far away from what a decentralized system should do.
Could
I answer
your question, Alex?
Okay. How safe is your platform currently for investor and user for now?
How safe is it? Hasn't been hacked till today. even though we did pen tests and we tried to do that. Look, our system itself is very, very safe, as the security measures of Google and AWS allows us to do that. The data is SHA-256 encrypted, so I doubt anybody gonna compromise that. Of course, there are security security breaches possible if you lose your master key, if you lose your security key, etc. behind that. But that would come down to a human failure and not a system failure. Or let's say it in another way. Through the audits, we fulfill every security measurements or security criteria which have to be met today to be deemed as a secure system.
That's, yeah, and obviously like the web services you guys are using are very advanced and some of the best in the market. So
yeah,
that was a great answer from my end. Hopefully that helps Alex.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Alex, for
the questions. So we have here, we got Cody, we got Derek. So Cody, we'll get you up in here today. Oops, sorry. There we go. I just having a little bit of trouble unmuting you. How's it going, Cody?
Hear me?
Loud and clear. Thanks so much for coming out.
Hey, I just want to know the circulating supply of VGB, because it doesn't say it in CoinGecko.
It's the same. It's 40 million. Both of all three tokens we're gonna work with gonna have exactly the same tokenomics. So it's 40 million circulating supply, 60 million escrow tokens amount.
I got by somebody that it was going to be 25 million. I didn't know.
No, the 25 million.
No.
The 25 million are the ICO allocation for VGO. There was a 20 million allocation for an airdrop for VGB. There is a team allocation which is going to be distributed 5% per month over a span of 20 months to the team, and there's a marketing allocation of 10 million tokens for listings and all that stuff.
All right, that's all I wanted to know.
Thanks for the question.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much, Cody. Appreciate you coming out. So we have Nico, we got Derek, we got Rossi here. We'll get maybe 3 more questions in, guys, and then actually no, we'll get like all of them in because I don't want to cut anybody off. So Nico, how's it going today? Oh, can't get Nico unmuted for some reason. So I'm going to try Derek. Derek, how's it going?
Not too bad. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes,
how's it going?
loud and clear.
Perfect. Yeah, I've tried to be present in all of the different AMAs that you guys have done. Naveed and Thomas, I think it's an awesome project. I really like it. I'm active in the Discord under DRock. Try to help out people with questions there to the capacity that I can, knowing what I know, which obviously isn't as much as you guys, but anyway, really love the project. I think it's going to do awesome things. My question is, long term, do you guys see the 3 different tokens having a relatively equal value, given that the tokenomics are generally pretty close to the same, at least? Or do you see one being more valuable than others over the long term, or what's sort of the end game plan there? That's all.
Okay, 2 things. Number 1, DRock, I know. I saw you on Discord. I'm not active, but I watch. Thank you for your support there, man. The second thing is, look, there is no token out of the 3 which is superior against the others, right? So they will be all the same for us, and the market making procedure is going to be exactly the same for all the tokens which are there. But what we can't guarantee is that we are talking about 3 different communities, right? So the market always going to decide where the token is going to go to. As far as our abilities in market making allow, we would of course love to see all tokens equally in the market. But again, if XRP, I don't want to say it, but if there comes the worst scenario for XRP, and XRP gonna have problems with the SEC, well, look, it definitely won't be the same. If they succeed, it might be much more worse than any others, right? As the pairing, as the native pairings gonna be always the native pairings of the network, it always collides with the performance of the pairing tokens. But if all perform the same, we will hope, and that's definitely something we want to see in the upcoming months and years, that all three going to have the same value and the same price in the market and perform the same way.
Perfect. And then also with the Midnight Show blockchain that they're working on, do you see that long-term negatively affecting the other blockchains, or is it going to just sort of come alongside the other ones and perform a different function?
I will let Midnight answer that, but I'm going to give a sentence to that. I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to all the others and support all the other networks and blockchains. I don't think it's going to be a competition. But John, if you want to talk about that.
So we are not here to compete with anyone. We are here to solve a solution, to give a solution and solve problems. And the biggest problems are government entities. If we can satisfy government entities, then we will have a easier life into migrating everyone into the blockchain. Therefore, the economies will actually do better, and everything will be more sustainable. So I don't see it as a problem. Maybe other blockchains may see us as a threat, but I don't see that. We're not competing with anyone. We're trying to actually solve issues here, and we're not here to compete with anyone.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, like I said, I love the project. I think the community is awesome. I think the interaction you have with Gaz and everything over the last few AMAs has been great. So anyway, keep it going. It's awesome. I love it. Can't wait to see where it goes. And thanks for your time.
Thank you for your support, man.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, D-Rock. So we got up here next, we got Rossi. Rossi, how's it going? Hey, Rossi, are you there?
He's still muted.
It just might be Telegram. Sometimes it's a little bit delayed on everybody's end. So, Rossi, do you want to try and go ahead and unmute your mic there? If not, I will try and get Nico back up for their question. All right, Nico, you are up.
Hello, sir.
How's it going today?
Yes, my question is, knowing that NFT is now a cool thing among millennials, with a lot of them want to become NFT creators. So my question is, will Vagabond have planned to educate young people about NFT and an explanation of copyright? Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you for the question. That's an awesome question.
Good. Yeah.
So look, yeah, the thing is, we will, or one of the aims we have, and Thomas can talk about that a little bit more in detail about sustainability and how we see that as individuals and as a company, is to educate people in every kind and form. It's not just NFTs, but it's blockchain, and also how to handle with private wealth. Right, so you don't get wrecked into the market in any case. That is number one. Number two is, as we have a corporate background and we are coming from one of the biggest auditors in the world, of course we want to educate everyone in the legal side of specifically NFTs, which is going to be a part of our business model anyhow, to point that out and give consultancy on that. Because what I see is, look, you just hit the nail on the head with that. Is if Vagabond enables everyone to have an NFT marketplace, and it is not controlled like it is with other marketplaces like OpenSea and Rarible and Foundation, how do we handle the copyright situation? Can everybody put on the same picture and sell it? right? Or not. And these are exactly the points where we as a group will definitely educate, but we also educate first our community, who then can educate the extent and reach. But Thomas, do you want to say something about our principles in the company of sustainability and exactly what covers that?
Yeah, I like to do that. I will keep it short because some from the others know if I talk about sustainability, it takes not even hours, but days and weeks. But actually,
I can confirm.
One of the main issues is really what I said. Sustainability is not only ecological topic or decarbonization. It's really about social sustainability. And as I said today, with the existing way how we do business and how the society works, there's always education only for a small group of people. There's only information for a small group of people. And the ones who have the wealth are thinking that what they are saying should be accepted by the others. And this is not the way anymore, because if we want to make a real change and transformation towards a sustainable society, we need education in all the fitting elements for this society, and definitely blockchain and also the education on sustainability is the most important point to give the confidence back, because people will not change unless they know what is it about, because everyone is afraid of change. And first they have to be aware, look, there is a problem in the world. Second, they have to be educated. What are the ways how we can solve this problem? Third, they need to be emotionalized and embrace this, and then they will act. And that's why our philosophy is with Vagabond. Okay, we do everything to make this change for all the people needed happen. And this is educating them, embracing them, emotionally embrace them, and then help them in the execution, how to get it done, and give security and trust back. And legal topics, security topic, privacy topics are at a very high level of our education agenda, because only then you can give the people the confidence, because the people have lost in the existing way how we do business the confidence. They are skeptic about politicians, skeptic about the business members, skeptic about market mechanism. And this is why not only NFT, but blockchain as a whole and new technology, whatever comes next, is so important to be embraced, to be educated, to be implemented. So I hope you get a little bit the philosophy why this is a key element of Vagabond.
I think that was a great answer. Hopefully, Nico, that answers your question as well on your end.
Okay, sir. Thanks for pointing me in this great project.
Hey, Maurice, might if I add something right here?
Yeah, of course, man. It's great to meet you as well, Hisham.
Great to meet you too. Thanks for having us here. So to go back to the discussion or what Midnight was touching upon is basically to further add to your question about this new blockchain negatively impacting any others. We don't believe that there is one single solution for every application. So there are always going to be multiple different blockchains running simultaneously, successfully, might I add. And we'll find that eventually we're going to see different blockchains specializing in different areas. And that's essentially where we're going to go. There's not going to be a one-size-fits-all type of solution.
I don't even think we've covered off much in terms of your the studio that you guys have partnered with, either in the Ukraine for some of your design work. I don't know if you guys wanted to go into that a little bit before we kind of transition into some of the trivia, because I know that's a very important and crucial part of this project, and we didn't get into it much, but it's something I was kind of saving for the end if we didn't. So I'd love to have you guys expand on that a bit as well.
Oh yeah, sure. Look, the design studio in Ukraine, I bought the design studio in 2018 myself, and that is the we call it Mitbringsel in Germany. I forgot the English word for that. If you go into a marriage and bring something in, that is what I bring into the marriage of me and Thomas in that case. So the design studio is packed with eight designers, art directors and visual designers, and there are 20 full stack developers in there, a bit of overhead on administration and PO and tech lead. So these guys are fully trained in React. We've got two people sitting on the blockchain side right now who are fully trained and actually well known in the blockchain industry. One worked for IBM and worked on the IBM blockchain earlier. And the other one is from the US, who educated himself in the US and went back home. And these guys are mainly working on the technology side. So Thomas is in the company responsible for the business, and I am responsible for the technology and marketing. So I oversee them, but we will get a new CTO into the company who will be responsible for the overall development and of course then the design studio over there. Why we call the design studio is because at that time actually the plan was to acquire them and make them to a design studio. Plans change. Now this is a nearshore development studio with some design capabilities. We didn't change the name.
Perfect. Thank you so much for covering that off for us as well, guys, because I know from reading or looking at the website and then reading of your white paper, obviously the development studio that you guys bring into this obviously helps meet the needs and the demands of the clients and the partners that you bring in. And it's not like you have to go out and look for additional support as you ramp up. You already have it done on the back end. So I just wanted to touch on that, and I appreciate the additional information on that, Naveed.
Yeah, thank you. But look, as I said earlier, the approach we had in the crypto space was different from the get-go, right? So we started to build first before we entered. So there was a 9-month development before we had our Twitter account and started to build up the community. Because what we wanted to have is we wanted to have the base first, you know, without making a fuss out there and talking about what great things we want to build. We want to have it first before we go out and talk about it. So we had our first client in April, and we moved on and we started to build around that. So now, since end of October, since we are building the community and meeting a lot of new people, getting a lot of feedback, that helps us to improve, you know, what we already have built in this space.
Amazing. And yeah, like I touched on it, I think once or twice, just about how excited I was to have you guys as a team on the channel today. I kind of come from that background a little bit myself, but I think in terms of allowing people to listen to you, listen to your expertise, and it's amazing what you guys are bringing to the table on this. And the fact, like you said, you worked on development for 9 months before you even started up your social channels just speaks to the expertise you guys are bringing from the real world. It's a real life, real world application business usage product or project that is transitioning and bridging into the crypto space. So I do want to highlight that you guys are one of the strongest, most well put together teams that I've seen in the space from a real world, real life application standpoint. So I just have to continue to touch on that, guys. Like, this was really a project that I loved when I learned about it, because it's a little bit more in my space and my background from schooling. And initially kind of, I just think it's amazing what you guys are building towards. And I don't think people, unless they really spend like an hour or more listening to you guys talk about the details and the specifics, can really truly understand as a brand and as a potential what you guys have. So I am just so happy you guys took the time to come on the channel today and allow us to continue to add to your hopefully supportive community as you guys go live or look to launch on the 15th. So I'm extremely excited. Like, this has all the makings and the background from the team to be one of the craziest projects we've seen in the next couple of years in BSC as well on XRP. And who knows what the future might hold on that side of things in terms of additional networks or growth for the project. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch on that again, guys. Like, very unique, very detailed, and maybe one other project comes to mind in terms of the amount of work they've put in on the forefront before actually launching, and that project's been extremely successful. So I never compare names, but I just like to think of the infrastructure and the initial setup, and I would say that you guys have all the makings to really be one of the coolest projects coming into crypto for the next few years and beyond, because you are truly, by all definitions of the word, long-term sustainability-based project. So it's going to be awesome. And thank you for allowing our community such an early access point and opportunity to learn about the brand.
Maurice, there are still, I guess, 3 questions. I have seen Randy, Jan, and Madden. They are waving. Should we let them in at the last 3 so that we at least satisfy all these questions? Is this okay for you?
So we do have another AMA coming up in about 37 minutes, and I just wanted to have a bit of time between. But what I can do is I can get Yan, I think, had their hand up from the beginning, and then Coin CM as well have been the 2 I've seen the longest. So I'll get them in for their questions, and then we can do the trivia at the end. Hopefully we don't run longer than like maybe another 10 minutes or so, because I've already just said my closing statement, so we can skip mine at the end and kind of just have you guys close things off after trivia.
Cool. We're going to keep it short. Thanks.
Yan, you are up.
So may I ask my question?
Yes, sir.
So in the white paper, I saw that you are specifically, or that Vagabond is specifically designed for companies searching for an easy way adopting to the blockchain without a huge upfront of money and time. But how are you? What is your plan to searching for those companies, and how will you motivate them to buy your coin or adopt to your blockchain?
Thank you for the question. This has to be answered by both of us because it touches the business model and, of course, the networks we have. So number one is, Maurice just said it. Look, we are coming from the business world. We, of course, bring a pretty big network with us, and everyone we talked up today and that we did prior to the project is interested in getting into this project by adapting that into businesses. So we have right now up and running about 10 clients all together. Some are in the lead stage, some are in the opportunity stage, and some are in a closed stage at this point where we are in. And we are also partnering up with companies like PwC who put Vagabond in their portfolio to offer to their clients. So there is a huge sales part behind that, also with NSAV and all the others. So that is my take on that. Thomas, do you want to elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah, but like actually said, after 30 years in business with all these networks of companies where I worked for, and I can say each of the companies I worked for is interested to, and over all the time, I always worked with them together. And the network of, let's say also the partner of Silverbear Capital, our PricewaterhouseCoopers network, other auditors network, all these company networks and association where I'm part of and where I have some of the supervisory board functions should definitely help in the beginning. And the other is because there's a huge, and I guess Navid mentioned that one, like if you go to raw material providers or farmers, they have no access. We will actively go to have a high adoption rate and give for really low price those people access to our services. So this is not, let's say, tremendously improving immediately the business model, but in the long run, just imagine, the higher the adoption rate, the more data we have on our blockchain, the more with the data we can actually get this transparency, what we said, and holding high the privacy, but still having anonymously all this data and transparency over all these value chains. And we have sectors where we will build with the network. And I forgot one network, which is a network of interim managers where I'm part of. And some of you have mentioned that in the last AMA call, that I'm also a partner of Task Force Management on Demand. These are all people with 20, 30 years experience in certain industries. And those industries we partner with. So we have a special network only for real estate, a special network for fashion, a special network for food, a special network for mobility, a special network for financial services. So, and they will independently with us in a collaborative way build up these businesses, which at the end are all paying into the business model of Vagabond and the network partners. So I hope I could answer that. There is a really specific sales strategy behind that, which we elaborated over the last, let's say, not only year, but years, to make this happen, what we now as a next step want to continue.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for the question, Jan. Appreciate the patience keeping that hand up. And then we got Coin CM. You are our last to fire. How is it going today? Hey, Coin?
Can you guys hear me?
Perfect.
Yes.
There you
go. All right. Thanks for having me, guys. First of all, congratulations with all the work that you guys have been doing until now. It's very great to see your team work at this rate. It's very special to see how you guys are working. I have a question. You guys are planning to release 3 tokens, right? If all goes well, will you guys also consider releasing a 4th or 5th token, and which blockchains are you guys considering using?
Okay. So we are right now releasing 2 tokens, which is BSC and XRP. We are working on the Cardano pair to implement that, to get all the processes we already have for the other 2 to enable that on the platform as well. We will definitely have, that is for sure, another token which is going to be on our own blockchain, but that won't be in 2022, maybe in next year. So look, the roadmap and the mantra forward is, if there is a blockchain which solves problems, or which helps us to reach our requirements we need, we will look into it. But that doesn't mean that we're going to adapt it immediately, because with these 3 tokens we have right now, we are covering up about 95% of all requirements we could gather. There should be, or there have to be, a really huge shift in the business requirements in order to get another one in. We looked into Algorand, we looked into Songbird, we looked into quite a couple of others, but the functionalities and the benefits get redundant, and we don't want to hoard protocols. Yeah.
Very understandable. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the question. Perfect. Caesar.
No. Oh, my Telegram was being glitchy. I couldn't get my mic to come off mute, guys. Sorry about that. I was yelling at the thing. So we got, I think that kind of clears everything off. We have Madan there as well. Madan, if you have a quick question, you know what? We'll let you get one more in. One more question. One more. Madan, you're up. Don't leave me hanging, Madan. Come on. No, that's okay. That's okay. We got
Randy is here. Randy from Indonesia. Oh,
is Randy here? I don't see his hand.
I see her hand, Randy.
We got towards the end.
Oh, Fadila? Yeah, no, he had his hand up earlier, but I haven't seen his hand up on my Telegram right now, so I can't. It's not letting me unmute. Hey, Randy, are you there?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you had a question
Hello.
as well earlier?
Oh, okay. I have a simple question, sir.
Go
This is
ahead.
my question. Most users often care less about technology, but rather the value of the tokens. How does your project manage to strike a balance between developing technology and increasing token value?
Okay, I hope I understood right. So you're asking how our business model gonna help the token value? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Look, there is a simple answer to that. Without a lot of explanation around that. The more successful our business is, the more success we can talk about, the more successful a token gonna be. This is in the stock market the same like in the crypto market. So if we are successful, we have a lot to talk about, a lot of success to talk about, and that will affect the value of the token itself. That's number one. And number two is our circulating supply is low. The next one, which has such a low circulating supply, is Bitcoin, with 24 million up to 2040. So like if we don't mess it up, they're going to be a huge value of the token.
My question is, how does your project manage to strike a balance between developing technology?
Okay. So it's kind of trying to manage the development side on the back end with actually like keeping people, investors like interested in the short term. I guess kind of finding that middle ground.
How do we find the middle? Okay, good. Sorry, man. Okay, look. The way forward is pretty simple. We're gonna release tools like the NFT marketplace, like the wallet, etc. We're gonna keep it on. It's in our roadmap anyhow. Bounded in. Stacking is in order to keep the sweet spot, of we have a huge announcement to do because we have a breakthrough in our development, and also to keep a noise in the market, because if we work tomorrow with a huge enterprise, nobody gonna know about it until we are done, right? In order to do that. So this is the two balances we have. So we're gonna have the huge announcements on the implementation of big enterprises, but also individual software for the community, right? So the NFT marketplace, as I said, gonna be a free tool for everyone to use. In between. So that's the balance we have over there. In order to harmonize the communications, but from the other side, the technology or the development going to go on. So what we have is that there the design studio comes into play. The design studio is the way they develop completely independent to the business itself. They have their roadmap, they get the requirements and build. They are never affected by the business itself. I hope I could answer the question.
Okay, can we ask one more question?
Randy, if it's okay, I wanted to just get the trivia going and have the team make their final remarks. So if you have something, just flip me a DM, or what I would say, and the point of the AMA is everybody here join up in their Telegram group, follow their socials, and be sure to start engaging with the team, because project's not even live yet, and you guys are still so early in a project with this much potential. So I'm going to kind of cut you off from the second question, if you don't mind, and we'll say join their Telegram and just ask them there directly, because like they've touched on, it's a great community. And one of the points of the AMAs is to drive people to their community to make sure that you guys can interact with the brand and start to kind of find your affinity like I kind of have, and the understanding of what they're building.
Very much. Thank you for information, Maurice.
Of course, man. I'd love to see you here again. So, guys, what we're going to do now is a little fun trivia questions we have for everybody here. Where we do this is the comment section for the VC opening. So it's 5 posts now from the bottom. It's the one that went up right at 2:01 p.m. or 7:01 UTC, depending on where you guys are. It's got 42 comments in there right now. So I'll give 15, 20 seconds for everybody to jump in here and take a look. And then I will start getting through my couple questions. So we have 0.2 BNB, so 2 prizes of 0.1 for participation, and then 3 of 0.1 for the trivia. So my first question is, what is the cost range to get an app built? I will take the rounded numbers. All right, we got some answers there. It's 29 to 49, correct? Oh, I can't hear anybody. I have to leave Telegram.
Okay. Telegram can be a bit glitchy, so
I'm back. Sorry, my Telegram disconnected. I couldn't hear anything, and I don't know if you guys could even hear me.
no, we didn't speak. We could hear, but no one spoke.
Okay, yeah, because it was $29.99 and then $49.99, correct?
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay, and we're talking about thousands, correct?
Yes, thousands.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to, because I had people messaging me being like that's not dollars, and I'm like, no, don't think so. So we got 29. That would mean Karam Shazad. That is you. Correct. Congratulations on that. So Karam, you have that one there. So the next question, guys, is when did they mention they first signed up their initial client? Or I guess how long have they been active with clients would be a better way to phrase it. I'm gonna look for a month, I guess, on this one, guys. They touched on the month like 3 or 4 times throughout the presentation. So maybe I'm just wording it wrong, because I'm surprised the answer hasn't. So how long has the platform been active since they've had clients on it? I guess is the way we've specifically worded it. Okay, maybe I was wording it wrong because Dej, the second I said that, Dej flipped out April 2021, like immediately. So I guess that could have been my fault on the wording. For the next question, so that's Dej, 0.1 BNB. For the next question, Thomas had mentioned he'd worked a very senior role with a major automotive organization. Can you guys name one of the brands involved? Daimler Chrysler is correct, sir. That is, oh, actually, no, that's, ma'am, that's Kim. Kim, congratulations, Chrysler. Okay, Theo, it's okay, bud. Sorry, my dog just came into my office here to say hello.
Give him a hug.
Yeah,
from all of us.
He's small. He's trying to jump up and say hello, but he'll start licking my computer, and then all you hear is like funny mic noises. Likes to lick the laptop for some reason. Which I'm like, bro, there's so many germs on that. Don't do it. But yeah, so that's the 3 questions I had, guys, just in terms of kind of some random trivia about the project. And I have to say, it really is a project that we could have you guys on here for 3 hours, and I don't even know if we'd be able to cover up all the information because what you guys are bringing to crypto is astounding. Really, the scope of what you guys have potentially for a long-term project does really blow my mind. I think I've sent it to Caesar like 3 times, being like, I can't believe these guys are launching in BSC. Like, I can't believe it. I've sent that message to him like 3 times as we've gone throughout the information gathering process, because like I do think in terms of the expertise and what you guys are bringing to the table, like this project has all the makings to really blow up. Not this year, but really thinking like 4 or 5 years down the line. And I can't, to be honest with you guys, really think of many projects I've looked at where I could look at a 3 to 5 month timeline and be like, I am pretty confident in saying that this would still be here. So I do really have to give you guys 100% props. And I know people who listen, I'm almost always a positive guy, but in terms of like long time tenure, I have not really seen something that I could foresee going this long ever in my end. So I do have to really push that back to the channel, guys. Like you guys have built something amazing, and it's just an awesome opportunity for myself as well as the community here to get to learn about it. So thank you so much for the time and all the information. I know I've taken some notes myself. I'll pass it off to you guys for the closing remarks, but I just wanted to say this has been, by all means, one of the coolest long-term projects I've ever had the chance to jump into, guys. So I wanted to thank you for the opportunity myself.
Thank you for the comments. We really appreciate it. Thomas, do you want to do the final remarks? Hello, hello?
Oh, it's Thomas's TG giving him some problems now. Uh-oh. Seems to either happen right at the beginning or right at the end, like right when you're trying to do something important.
Do you hear me now?
Perfect.
First of all, thank you for the compliments. I take them, and we are proud as a team. But as a closing remark, join us and help us all together change the world to a decentralized economy, because we can only be a force for good if we work and collaboratively together. So I see a really tremendous start for a great endeavor and journey together.
Thank you so much, Thomas. I'm going to close it off on that, guys. I really appreciate the time. I'll get the recording sent over to you right afterwards. Midnight, thank you very much for helping me set this up and orchestrating. Declan as well has helped me out with a little bit on the back end, just in terms of information gathering, sent me over the previous recording from the AMA with Midnight's channel there. So guys, amazing job, great work. I'll send you the recording, and I am excited to see what happens on the 15th. I'll be there.
Thank you for having us.
All right, take care, guys.